Hello and welcome to LV Bridges the Gap. This week we did a lab about accessibility. And I think this is something that's going to be really important as there's a lot of companies that are being put into lawsuits because of their lack of accessibility. So this is one of the biggest things that is important for a lot of websites to evaluate. So I'm going to use two flat platforms to evaluate both one of my other CMS platforms, which I did my Bridge to Nowhere, and then also my most recent Hack CMS website, which was my guide to Prague. So first, I'm going to show you how you do this. So first, downloading the actual applications themselves, both Wave and Lighthouse, are super easy. They're just extensions that you can add through Google Chrome. So this was something that was really easy to do. And then I'm going to start off with my Bridge to Nowhere, and I'm going to start off by doing a Wave um, review. So as you saw, that was really easy. It just automatically does it, and it'll bring up exactly what's wrong. So by looking, this is just kind of a general overview. Contrast errors can have to do exactly with kind of like the picture in the back and how much you can see. So you can go into details, and it'll actually bring you to where the exact problems are. And I think this is really important because you do have to evaluate where you're going. So a lot of these are pretty simple fixes, having alternative text and a ton of other things that can help somebody that might not be able to access a website as easily. As you see, there's a lot of problems with structural elements, which has a lot to do with the theme I chose. So I didn't do the full, I guess, editing of the website, so I left a lot of things as it was. But this can cause a lot of problems with accessibility, which I didn't know until I actually entered this application, which was something I was really interesting to see. So ways to fix this would be to fully edit the theme and make sure that I really include things under each tab, or else it's not fully accessible. So after doing this, I'm going to go back to the website and do the same for Lighthouse. So I'm going to generate a Lighthouse report, which will take a little bit longer, and it'll actually bring me to a new tab on a different screen. So we just have to wait for that. And as we see here, it has 100% accessibility, a few performance issues, a few best practices issues, and then pretty good SEO. So being in the green zone, as we have for accessibility and SEO, is good, but there's always going to be problems with something in the yellow zone. So that would definitely have to be done through those different edits that I make. But that's overall a pretty good report. And then next, I want to do a report on my guide to Prague. So I'm going to start off again with the Wave report. And as we see here, a lot less issues. And this is because I really created it kind of from scratch. So if you go into details, we can see I was missing alternative text for the GIF, a few other issues, some structural element issues, and then an ARIA issue. But for the most part, there weren't many problems with this page specifically. But as we go further and we do a Lighthouse report, it can really get the full website together. So we're going to the next one, and we get our report, and we see that there's 3 yellow zones. And now again, they are at the upper zone or upper level of the zone, but we want to have most in the green. So if you look at the different reasons, there's a ton of different reasons for why these might not be as great as they could be. And a lot of this is because my image elements need to have a little bit more description, and then a few other problems that I have. But I think that the most important thing about this tool, actually both of these tools, is really being able to evaluate your website and see what you're doing correct, what you're doing incorrect, and you really want to be in that green place so that all of your users can easily access each part, no matter who it really is. So again, explaining how to run the accessibility, but why is it important to make improvements? It's important that you can have, for example, somebody that might be blind or deaf or anything, to make sure that they're fully understanding the purpose of your website. So that's really important. And then I also wanted to actually do a run through on our class website. So I haven't done this yet, so I wanted to do it on the video. So as we see here, a lot of things look pretty good. There's a few problems with headings every once in a while, a few structural elements, but for the most part, it looks pretty good on this page. And then let's also do a lighthouse report. So as you see, it's getting all of this information. And we go to the lighthouse report. And here we see that this has 3 in the green zone. So it has been really focusing on accessibility, and clearly there were things that were kept in mind whenever making the website more accessible, and maybe even some performances that were created and then edited after. So as we see, there's a few performance issues, but the accessibility is really good, the best practices are really good, and then SEO is at 100. So I think it shows that as long as you are creating your website with the intention of being fully accessible, it's definitely something that is pretty easy to keep on top of. So thank you for coming to LV Bridges the Gap this week, and I will talk to you guys again next week.